sleepy. How are you doing? I know, you've been asleep for a long time. You feeling kind of groggy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of like a really bad hangover, right? Mm-hmm. Honestly, you did pretty good. When I transitioned, it was so much worse, but you've been handling this like a champ, so I'm very proud of you. I know. I was expecting you'd be hungry, so... No, it's not red wine, silly. It's blood, obviously. Trust me, things like food, like actual food, you're not going to miss. Once you have a sip of this, it's all you're ever going to crave. But I feel like I do need to talk to you just about the way I like to live my life personally, and I hope that you'll probably feel the same as me and not. Yeah, let's go through what's it actually is like to be a vampire. And there's a lot of movies out there, obviously, that all have different views and different perspectives on life as a vampire, but I want to tell you how it actually is and not hold anything back, because this is your life now and you need to know exactly what you're in for. But I know that already I can tell how well you're handling this, that your transition is going to be no big deal, and I think you're really going to enjoy there are a lot of perks and benefits to being a vampire. You aren't feeling it right now, but once you have some of this, you're going to notice that your strength is 10 times more magnified than it ever has been before. All your senses are just heightened, smells, everything smells stronger. Your sight, we don't have 20/20 vision, we have 50/50 vision, it's crazy, but you're gonna love it. It's amazing. Also, I feel like our overall intelligence is just, that tripled of what a human is, so, that's always nice. Yeah, no one is ever going to be able to trick you or scam you ever again. Yeah, no, literally never have I fallen for an infomercial since becoming a vampire. It just doesn't happen. We're just too smart for that. But anyway, so I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, though, about, just being a vampire and, I like to get my blood from a blood bank. Yeah, I'm not into getting it from a live human. I just don't like that. Yeah, so I can't tell you what to do. Obviously, you can do what you want, but personally, I just think it's, remember what it was like when you were a human. It's interesting as a vampire, our concept of time is just completely different because we have such long lives. I feel like a year feels like a day. Yeah, it's crazy, but as far as drinking blood from an actual human, what I like to say is just try to remember what it was like when you were a human. And, humans do have family members and friends and people that care about them. And imagine if someone you loved, was killed, and obviously they don't know how they were killed, but, once you start drinking human blood, it's really hard to stop, and a lot of times you'll end up killing the victim, and even so, if you don't, you'll end up scarring them for years. So, and people will think they're crazy if they go around telling people that a vampire drank their blood and attacked them. So I just think it's nicer to get my blood from a blood bank. I just try to break in, obviously, late at night when, the security guard's fallen asleep and there aren't a lot of people there. So that's what I like to do. Also, you don't sparkle in the sun. I know Twilight had everyone believing that that's what happens. We don't sparkle in the sun. It is a little harder to see. I do recommend a good pair of sunglasses because just like, the sun does feel extra bright. Like I said, all our senses have been heightened. So, of course, as far as sight and, direct sunlight, it is a bit harder to see, but we can get you a pair of the sunglasses that I use. They're really great for vampire vision. Next, I'm trying to think of any sorts of myths that I can debunk for you. We don't sleep in coffins. That's a big thing. We still sleep in our normal beds. No coffins. You will find that the red and black color scheme has become more appealing to me since transitioning. I have noticed that decor and stuff that I like for my bedroom, as you can see, has gotten a bit darker looking. Yeah, before I was really into bright white spaces, and all my furniture in my bedroom and stuff was white. You didn't know me before I was a vampire. Yeah. So before then, I've only been a vampire for 30 years maybe. We do age. We don't stay the same age for all of eternity, but our aging process is very, very slow and gradual. I've looked like this for 30 years. This is what I looked like when I was turned. Obviously, I have changed my appearance to stay up with modern day styles and trends to fit in. Yeah, so I looked a lot different 30 years ago just because of how, I styled my hair and makeup, but this is still me. So you'll find that the aging process is extremely gradual. You probably won't age or look any older for about, I'd say, the next 200 years. You'll probably look like this. Yeah, the oldest vampire amongst us right now is about 5,000 years old. We don't actually know of any vampires dying from natural causes, but we're just kind of assuming eventually it happens. It could take 50,000 years. We don't really know, but just so you know, we do age. We just age extremely slowly. Anyway, let's talk about why I keep my blood in this wine bottle. So I try to fit in, with society. I'm not trying to freak anyone out. Obviously, if I took out the blood from the blood bank that's in those plastic sort of looking pouches and started drinking that, people would get concerned. If I put it in a wine bottle and I pour it in my wine glass, I can discreetly have a picnic and no one notices. It's easy to fit in, especially when drinking blood. You could be drinking cranberry juice, wine, you could do lots of things. Yeah. I'll make pasta with a red wine sauce. You can still have dinners, have people over, socialize with other humans, and discreetly incorporate. Yeah, remember last week when we went over your parents' house and they cooked spaghetti? You asked me what my favorite dish was. I said spaghetti with red sauce. Vampires are extremely fast, so the human eye isn't even able to detect sometimes if we do quick sort of motions. So when everyone turned, I believe we all looked over at something. I forget exactly. But when everyone turned, I just whipped out a vial of blood, poured it into my spaghetti. No one ever noticed. Obviously, human food doesn't taste that great. There's really no flavor to it. It's very bland, but we can eat it. It just doesn't really nourish us the same way that blood does. It, of course, still gives us a little nourishment, so if you're absolutely famished, you can try eating something and it'll give you some sort of nutrients. It's kind of like a human eating just iceberg lettuce. You know, like if you eat just plain leaves of iceberg lettuce, you'll feel like you're eating something, but there's no real like nutrients. Like you're not gonna really feel full. You're just gonna feel like you're chewing on air pretty much. It's like celery. Celery is another good example of what like human food is like for us. But do you want some? Because you do look very tired and you're not gonna feel normal until you've had some of this. Yeah. You wanna wait? I thought maybe we could go on a picnic. The weather is really nice. Yeah, your life isn't going to drastically change just because you're a vampire now. I mean, we're gonna still continue to do everything we did before, and now we'll just be able to spend a lot more years together. But I'm really happy you wanted to transition with me. I think you're really going to find that being a vampire is a lot of fun. Yeah, and no one ever has to know. You don't have to tell your family or your friends. We actually prefer that vampires keep this sort of thing to themselves because, you know, obviously at some points throughout history it has slipped that we aren't a myth and that we're real. I mean, hello, that's why there are movies about us and books and comics and everything. It's because people found out about our existence to begin with, and you know, for the majority, most humans think that we aren't real. And then you have posers who pretend that they're vampires, but they actually aren't. Any true vampire isn't going to allow a news article written about them to show up where they drink their partner's blood to sustain themselves. It's just not how it works. Yeah, I saw something the other day. Someone wrote an article about, I forget, it was a complete BS. Yeah, us vampires, we don't go around like, you know, we keep this type of information to ourselves. We don't go around sharing it with the world that we drink blood. Also, you would never drink the blood of your human partner. I mean, that's not a way of showing love, you know? It's weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna, it's sucking life and energy out of a human. Why would you do that to someone you love? So, anyway, and you will notice that some people's blood does taste better than others. Yeah, I prefer female blood. Personally, I think it's sweeter tasting, but, you know, everyone has their own preference, so you'll figure out once we go to the blood bank and you try different types. I like AB positive blood, personally. AB positive female blood. So good. Yeah. I do like O blood as well. O is pretty good. Everyone has a preference. You'll slowly figure out what your preference is, but I'm going to teach you about a whole new world you didn't even know existed. Also, as far as drinking animal blood, I don't like that either. Animals really don't do enough to sustain us. It's like enough to keep you going, but it's like you're still kind of always hungry. So, I don't know. I personally am not into the whole animal thing because it doesn't sustain you, and I mean, animals are really cute, so why would you want to go and suck the blood and life out of them? But yeah, I don't know. Why don't we go on our picnic and we can have our bottle of wine? Trust me, no one will notice. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years. You're gonna be nervous your first time, but I mean, there were plenty of nights where we were sitting on the couch watching a movie together and I got you a glass of red wine. I wasn't drinking red wine. Did you ever notice? No. Okay, let's go. Trust me, it's no big deal. I will make sure you feel completely comfortable. I'll be watching, make sure no one is giving you any weird looks. They won't be. I'm telling you, nobody is paying attention to you. Okay? We're gonna have a lot of fun together. Okay, so don't worry. You have me. You're very lucky. I'm going to completely make you comfortable and show you this new way of life, and you're going to have an amazing adventure, okay? So let's go.